Hey guys, we're back over here with the Broklahomies podcast, and for the first time in a while, it's me and Dani having a cordial conversation over the podcast. How are you, Dani?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Dude, fantastic.
Oh, what do you mean?
Man,
Oh.
so yeah, I have lots of stuff going on right now, man. It's been busy, like kind of busy, kind of not busy, I suppose.
I bet.
But
I bet. But yeah, tell me what's
cool.
What's the good stuff?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So the biggest thing right now is that I quit my old job because of some like internal things that were happening. And, I was without a job in the Bay Area and I still had to pay my bills and stuff. So I was kind of freaking out, right?
Yeah.
And I was able to find myself a new job. Not only did I find myself a new job, it's one that has to do with marketing. There's this cafe near my place called iJava, and I'm going to be doing all the social media promotions and stuff. I say social media, but it's all the marketing plan for absolutely everything that they're doing, within their 4 iJava locations. So dude, I'm right now, I'm super happy because I have myself a job. I also have been talking to a very lovely person. I won't say anything more than that, just out of respect. And then let's see, what else? Have that going on. But yeah, honestly, I've been doing so much drinking and going out and partying and stuff that I've kind of neglected a lot of my responsibilities. But today is the day where we are going to I'm going to pick those responsibilities the fuck back up.
Yeah.
And
that's the spirit, bro.
That's
the spirit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Take over.
Hell yeah.
Take back control of your life.
For sure, dude. Freaking. It all starts with cleaning your room. just drinking a coffee and just taking care of something near you. And whenever you do one thing to better the situation that you're in, literally anything, then everything else just kind of comes as a just follows suit. You're you get addicted to it.
Yeah, you just feel a lot more. You just feel like doing more and more. It's like a chain reaction kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I am today. And dude, man, I'm happy. I'm super happy.
Yeah, man. One can notice that life is just going well for you, man. It's and things are falling into place. And doesn't it feel great?
Dude,
doesn't it feel great?
Dude, it feels fantastic. It feels fantastic. I'm on a high 24/7 right now.
But yeah.
Dude, one weird thing that happened though is I started vaping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of trash. I mean, I'm kind of millennial trash right now, but I mean, whatever. There's gonna be people listening to this podcast going oh, I don't want to listen to this podcast because Tyler vapes. Me neither, dude. If I was vaping, I wouldn't listen to this fucking podcast anymore either. If the guy started vaping.
Nah, bro. No judgment, man. When did you start? Was it recently?
Yeah, it's I mean, what happened basically was that I'd quit smoking before, and then I'd kind of fallen back into it. I kind of found a way around it. What I did whenever I started back smoking was I decided not to buy packs of cigarettes, because when you buy a pack of cigarettes, then what you'll do is you'll just chain smoke. You just keep chain smoking.
Yeah.
And so what I did to kind of counteract that was I would only ask people downtown, hey dude, you got a cigarette? I think the way that I always ask people is hey man, I don't mean to be a dick, but could I ask for a cigarette? I have a pitch. I have a cigarette asking pitch,
Yeah.
And
a pickup line.
I kind of
a cigarette pickup line.
Yeah, basically it's a pickup line, but for a dirty cigarette.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will be like, well, you can't anymore because now you asked for the cigarette. And they'll kind of like joke around about it, be funny, you know? Because like it's entertaining for them. So like whenever they give me a cigarette, they don't feel as bad about it because it's like, oh, at least this guy like kind of like gave me a laugh.
Yeah, he's trying.
You know?
He's trying to give something back
in return. Precisely. Or it's either that or me justifying asking for cigarettes. Could be either of those two things, I suppose.
Nah, it's always appreciated,
but
when it's not a one-way street, you know.
Definitely, yeah, because it's transactional in nature. It's not just like a receiving. But dude, like on a completely different note though, like just going back to the job thing, I'm so happy that like now. Like what I did whenever I got this job, right, was that I went into the cafe and I was just going to ask for like a barista job, you know, just like something temporary that I could do for like a couple of months, something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I walked in and I was like, hey, what do you think about this resume? And like, you know, I was just talking about how I had like 8 months of barista experience, making coffee and stuff. He took one look at my resume and then he kind of scratched his head and then said, follow me. And we went inside and then we talked to the owner or like the manager of the place. His name is Jim. He's a really cool guy. And he took a look at it. And then he said, oh, so you do marketing? And I was like, yeah, I do marketing. And he was like, well, we actually need help with marketing right now. And obviously I'm surprised at this point because I'm like, wow, like I asked for something and then like I asked for like a barista job and then I got like what I really wanted long term.
Out of nowhere. Just,
you know, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then from there, like we had like a little interview and what they told me basically was that what we would want to do with you is offer like some sort of barista / social media job. So like doing both, like making coffee, like knowing the ins and outs of the actual business, and then promoting the business, which actually makes sense, right? Because like I'm making the product that we're selling. So like if I know more about the product, then I can market it better.
Yeah, in sort of a twisted way, it does make sense. Yeah, it's like. Yeah,
definitely. And I really think that like it does help, like because I'm gonna be working about probably 25-30 hours a week for this business, right? And I think that legitimately, devoting a couple of those hours to doing barista work instead of doing marketing work will actually make my marketing better. Like not doing marketing and doing the actual barista work is something that is probably better for the marketing in general. So I think it's it's kind of a win-win because they needed a barista and they also need social media promotions. Social media. I keep saying social media, like marketing, like a campaign because I'm going to be managing their entire campaign. They needed that and they also needed barista work and I'm fulfilling both of those and I'll be able to market the product better as a result of me doing the barista work as well. So
gotcha.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And on top of that, like the other great thing about this is that since I'm only working like 25 to 30 hours a week, I'm also going to be able to do the Broklahomies podcast, like commit quite a few hours to it, right?
What do you mean?
Because I have like less hours that I'm working at this business throughout the week.
I see. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I have more open time, and then I'm also like working at the other startup, Albert's List, doing stuff for them as well. So basically, what it comes down to is that like I have a good balance of being like I'm able to balance a lot of the things that I'm doing a lot better because I have less hours. And not only that, I'm also getting the experience that I needed and craved, for like a year and a half that I've been like looking for a marketing job. So dude, I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited about absolutely everything right now.
Yeah, man, you sound like just over the moon. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's such a small thing. You think like, oh, you're just like promoting like stuff at a coffee shop for like, like a couple dollars above minimum wage. I don't care about the pay. Like I do, but I don't, right? Because the thing is, I want more drinking money, for example, right?
Yeah.
Or like more money to like save, more money to do other things with. But at the end of the day, the experience is the most important part. And that's what I'm going to get now as a result of this. And as a result of, like doing the Broklahomies podcast, like working with Albert's List. So man,
yeah, man.
And
yeah, it's a stepping stone in your professional career. Like it
definitely, it's the first step, dude.
And hopefully, it will open many doors to many other doors, like and doors that open other doors. You get the idea, right? Like
it's a chain reaction, like exactly. We're talking about with like cleaning your room and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's just one thing just leads to another, and it's just explosive. And that's the thing, is that you got to keep yourself explosive and nimble,
nimble.
And that's what we're doing. Yeah, nimble. Like that's what we're doing right now. Like because here's another thing is that, like one of the big reasons why we're doing Broklahomies in the first place is because we want some sort of project to be able to show employers too, right? Like besides the obvious fact that like we love like expressing our opinions and we love talking to other people. Like another thing is that we have to promote Broklahomies, and whenever we do that, that's something that gets us closer to the jobs that we want. And for a long time, you kind of had this underlying anxiety, like, does the Broklahomies podcast and like working on this, does it actually get me closer to a career?
Yeah.
You have this kind of doubt, this like inner doubt, like this voice telling you that like, oh, what you're doing with Broklahomies is meaningless, or that, or this or that. And like me getting this job has just blown away any shred of doubt that I had. So dude, like it's good for what we do in our project. Like having gotten this job, and it's just an overall positive movement. The trajectory that we're going right now, is inherently positive, which is like, you can't ask for much more than that, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
good trajectory, good pace.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just something where we can showcase our skills, and the moment we do that, we're positioning ourselves in the market, in the job market, like much higher definitely than somebody who is not doing anything to showcase those skills. And they could be like more qualified, they could have a deeper understanding, a deeper mastery of the skills, but because they don't apply it, that they lose it. And I think companies also value that, like extracurricular,
that grit and just working hard.
Yeah, but it's like in an extracurricular kind of way. Like nobody is demanding you to like do this, this podcast and all the work that you've put into it, into the social media part of it and stuff. Like nobody is demanding it from you, but you have this goal in mind, and you're working hard to achieve this goal, a goal that you set yourself, and that, I think, resonates.
It's valuable.
What?
It's very valuable.
Yeah.
Like, and any employer can look at that and find value in that.
Yeah, because employers want people who can come up with their stuff,
Like self-starting exactly. Is I think the term that a lot of companies use nowadays. Is you got to be able to like motivate yourself and be motivated, like without anyone having to like wind your gears up. No, you're a complete package. Like you come as something that like someone that can give value immediately. And I think working hard and doing those extra laborial, depending on if you're in college or if you're working, being able to do those things outside of what is the required bare minimum of what you do at work is valuable. It shows that you care and that you're motivated and you want to go places. And I think that any employer will find value in that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is. I think we just touched on two very important things for like people looking for jobs and like that recently graduated and are looking for jobs. Is that you need to be a self-starter and you need to push yourself beyond the bare minimum, the average. You know, like if you go in on the job boards and look at like what the employers are looking for, you always see like somebody who has a proactive mentality, as self-starter. You know, you always see that like even if it's an entry-level position where you're like you have little to no autonomy, you'll see that come up. Like,
there's actually a good point. That's actually a very good point. And here's one thing is that, you know, because right now you and I are definitely at like an entry level position point in our lives, right?
Yes.
Like we're not, like C level or like A level executives or anything like that. You know, we are grunts. We're still grunts, right? And the thing is, well, you think like companies want experienced individuals, but you know we don't have too much of that experience to be able to work off of. But what we do have, because of our youth and because like we are young, is we have this ability to be explosive and just be motivated. And that energy is something that a lot of employers are looking for from individuals, because that's our competitive advantage, right? Is that we just have this energy that like maybe some older people might not have as much of anymore. True. Because like age does some things to you, and we got to be able to compete with other people that are that have more experience by just working harder and bringing that contagious energy into a work culture.
Yep.
And it's simple as that. It's really simple. Is that like your youth and your energy and your motivation is your competitive advantage a lot of times.
Yeah. And the other thing, pushing yourself beyond the limitation, beyond the bare minimum, the reasonable, the average is super important. I think it's not something that's asked of you, or that you'll see mentioned in job boards and stuff, but it's expected of you, and like it shows like in your portfolio and stuff. Like they will see like who is willing to go above and beyond what's requested of them, and do like something really special.
Well, yeah, that's another good point. As we were talking about, like what I mentioned just now was like competitive advantage that you have over people that are older and have experience. But the competitive advantage that you have over people that are the same age and in the same situation is that now you have little experience, but you still have more experience than other people that are in the same situation as you, because you're working on something.
Definitely,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing, is that like if there's two Tylers, and then there's one Tyler doing the Broklahomies podcast, and like another Tyler who is working like a job that has nothing to do with marketing. Well, then who do you think is going to get, like a marketing job in the future? The one who worked on a personal project and has a little bit of experience, just a couple months of experience, or the one that, is working in something completely unrelated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And I think that one's pretty obvious.
Everything counts, man. Everything counts. Like, if you have something that's like proof that of your skill, of your qualifications, of your experience, of something, anything that gives you an edge is worth mentioning, is worth advertising.
Definitely.
You know what I mean by advertising, right? It's worth showing off. Is what I'm saying. It's like even those like certifications that you get watching courses on LinkedIn or Lynda or Pluralsight or whatever. That stuff.
They seem small. Like they're very tiny things.
Yeah, you might not think that the employer is interested in knowing whether you did the getting started to Adobe Photoshop course, but it's proof that, in lack of anything else, it's proof that you have dealt with this software and you have been exposed,
devoting time.
Yeah, you have been devoting time to learning this skill, and you've been exposed to this software. So if you're applying for a position that requires you to know this skill and to know how to work with this software, the employer doesn't have to worry about having to teach you, like, from scratch, from square one, like how to work with this or anything,
because you already have
have
knowledge.
The knowledge. You're already above those people that don't have anything to show on that particular subject. So it's a win. It's always a win to, like,
it's very
even
good,
even if it takes time, to go through your stuff and put that stuff on the resume and be changing it up and stuff, like, do the work, go beyond the bare minimum, push yourself to show your best self. Push yourself to show.
Definitely. And two things that I want to kind of branch off of that right now is one thing is that if you are learning, if you're using LinkedIn courses, if you're using,
which I am, by the way,
Khan Academy, very good, very good. I'm super glad that you got LinkedIn Premium. That stuff is super good. I love LinkedIn Premium. Highly recommended.
Absolutely, because I used to have another learning platform kind of thing.
E-learning, right? Like Khan Academy or like edX or something like that, right?
Like, and it was really good. It was really good. But the thing is, I think this is a problem with other e-learning platforms, is that they are not geared towards the professional outlook.
What do you mean?
Like, you'll see, like, in LinkedIn, in the e-learning platform of LinkedIn, you have courses that are designed specifically to teach you how to deal with the business, with being in a professional environment.
I see.
And
so it's not just it's not just for personal usage a lot of times, but it's for like a business practical context. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's sort of, yeah. It's for, like, for you to learn how to be a professional in a sense, and
it's a very for-profit mentality and not just for the sake of learning. It's not just for the sake of learning, right?
It's like, for even, like, applying for a job, and, like, interviews, being in the working environment, you know, how to deal with colleagues and deadlines and all that stuff, you know, and then of course more in-depth sort of
Hmm.
courses. But it's
I
an
see.
advantage that this platform has over other ones that just focus on like the skill. You have to learn the skill, like all the
Gotcha.
minutia of the you know whatever skill or application software. Uh,
It doesn't just take the skill into account. It takes the skill in the context of working in a business into account. Is that what I'm
exactly
hearing?
that.
I
Yeah,
see. I
perfect.
see. That makes perfect sense. And then okay, so like here's the a point that I wanted to make earlier, was that with uh like you were talking about portfolios and showing work that you've done. Now, this is kind of like for a lot of times for like programmers, engineers, and creative types too, like like marketing designers, UI UX people.
Yeah.
There's a completed product that you can show off for potential employers, right? Like you make something and then you show that to potential employers. Well, the great thing about a portfolio is that, assuming that the work in your portfolio is your work, that you didn't like steal it from somebody or something. Portfolios don't lie.
Right.
Portfolios do not lie. They are what they are. And if people look at it and they think, oh, wow, like this is really great, or, oh, wow, this is really shit, then it is what it is. Whereas like with the resume, like you can kind of like, twist the truth a little bit. Like I was a marketing director at this and this company, but in reality, all you did was like, like go around passing out flyers or something.
Yeah. Printing copies and like delivering coffee.
Exactly. And the thing is that you can make yourself look a lot bigger than you actually are, right?
Yeah.
But in the case of a portfolio, it's like your work is your work. And, I think one thing that you can do with your portfolio as well, which I've done this with mine and it's been very helpful, is that I put statistics. This is for marketing. I put statistics on what product or what piece of work that I created, like a piece of copy, like a piece of writing, right?
Right.
Like a piece of copy or a visual piece that I designed, the actual statistical impact that finished product had on my campaign or on Broklahomies in general. I think that's one thing that also, like, statistics also, I don't want to say statistics don't lie because people lie about statistics all the time, but statistics make things look a lot more credible than, if you just have, than if you did not have statistics. So like adding statistics into resumes and portfolios both are, I think, a good way for employers to be able to gauge how good you are at something. It might not be 100% accurate, but I think it's more accurate and it gives kind of like a ballpark idea to the employer of what your skill level is or what you're capable of.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to go take a break right now and we'll be right back afterwards. All right, we're back from the break. Dani, my boy.
Yeah. What's good?
What's good, dude? I'm just
What's not good?
Right? There's a couple of things here and there, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's more good right now than there is bad. Let's put it that way. For me.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Y'all already know me. All right. But
yeah, man.
stuff, dude. So the big thing is that, we were talking about being more marketable to employers, and, what we've done kind of coming to fruition, becoming something that's taken physical form now, because I was doing a lot of writing copy for LinkedIn, writing copy, creating content marketing for Broklahomies, working at that startup. Albert's List has also been good PR experience as well, because I'm an admin for a social media, it's a Facebook group for the Bay Area for people that are looking for jobs. Has 40,000 people. So that was like really, really good experience for my resume and portfolio as well.
Yeah.
And, like all these things that I'm working on the side have played into, endeavors. Like the endeavors that I'm going through right now have played into my overall experience and like how well-rounded I am as a marketer. And, not being lazy and actually doing work was realistically the name of the game. It's just not being discouraged and just keeping and going through with what you think will make you more marketable to an employer, and that was the key. I think one thing that I heard, I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about this, but what he said was, don't worry about how much you produce, whether you meet your goals or not. How do you put it? I think he phrased it as like, don't be too worried about whether you produce enough within the course of a year. Worry about whether or not you produce enough in the course of a day. So like literally take things day by day. Because the thing is, you can't really change the overall, like it's really hard to change the overall trajectory, like in like a very short time frame, right? But what is easier to do is like it's easier to do more in one day, and then have a lot of those days where you produce a lot of content or you produce a lot of value. And then over the course of a year, if you take like one day at a time and you like produce a lot in those days and you think about it in that kind of scope, then you will meet those goals. So the thing is, it's nice to have like a clarified vision for like what you want to do in like 1 year. But what's more important is that you are producing enough, that you're doing enough within the course of a day to eventually meet that goal over the course of a year.
Yeah. It can be daunting to like look at the the goals that you set for like the entire span of a year. All that's long term. If you're just like facing the long term head on, it can be like overwhelming. And you should rather like maybe take things day by day. Just approach it from a short term perspective, breaking down, assignments and tasks and milestones.
Very much so, like taking things literally step by step. Very and that's very good, because the thing is, a lot of times you'll think about if you're in college, for example, right? Because you have this degree that you're tasked with getting, but you're not worried about the degree like while you're in college. So you are, but you're not. Like what you're worried about is like, am I going to pass this class? And that is what you should be worried about. You should be worried about whether you're going to pass the class. Even better, you should be worried about whether you can get this assignment in. And if you take it even smaller than that, is that like one little portion of an assignment, like if you have like a 3-part project, you should be worried about whether you can get one part of the project done in one day, and then break it down into segments. And then it's just that way you put a lot of the important things into fragmented, manageable bits, and that just kind of plays into the overall puzzle of getting yourself a degree, for example, right?
Correcto.
It's good. And that's a healthy mindset. And I think a lot of people like feel too much pressure to get like, fuck, I gotta hurry up and get this degree. Like, I gotta hurry up and graduate. And then they end up graduating in 5 or 6 years, because they're worried about whether they're going to graduate instead of being worried about, like this one assignment or like this one part of an assignment. That's a more manageable bit. It's a lot less stressful that way too, and more productive.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah. People already be thinking about like master's degrees and PhDs and whatnot. It's like,
which is valuable too.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very valuable. It's just,
you should be thinking about less.
Yeah, you cannot always be focusing on like the big picture, and so if you spend the whole day thinking about the big picture, you're not putting work into making that big picture a reality.
Exactly.
Fuck these notifications.
Yeah, it's like here's an example, right? Like, let's use navigation as an example. Like, if you are on a boat and then you're trying to get to a specific location, then let's say you're on a cargo ship and then your last stop that you're going to is you're going from Tokyo in Japan to, let's say, Buenos Aires, Argentina, right? Two places that that I've been to, I suppose. This is a good example. But
nice.
Like, if you look at Japan and like you're on a cargo ship, so you're picking up, you're doing deliveries, drop-offs, and such, throughout the course of your entire trip. And so you don't want to focus on like the end goal, which is getting to Buenos Aires. Like, you don't want to focus on that the entire time. But what you want to focus on is you want to focus on getting to these other places. Like, maybe you need to stop by Seoul, South Korea, or maybe you need to stop by Shanghai, or you have to stop by these other places. And you should think about, like, for maybe like 5% of the time that you're thinking about your trajectory and where you're going, you're in your navigation, you should be thinking about, Buenos Aires, but maybe like 80% of what you're thinking about, you should devote to the next place that you're going, which is like, Shanghai or Seoul or something, and the shipments that are going to happen there, the cargo they have to drop off there, because, that's what makes the most sense in that context. But at the same time, you don't want to get veered off your entire path, and you do want to make it to Buenos Aires eventually.
Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, you're missing out too, like, on opportunities in the here and now, because you're too focused on the future, on what's coming. You've put yourself these blinders that are could change your life if you only would take them off and look in either way, like once in a while. I'm not saying like all the time, but because you need to be focused, but have a little perspective,
yeah, a little bit of big picture, a little bit of big picture, but mostly small picture, like just detail oriented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that balance. It's that management. That's the key.
Because for people that like thinking about the future and like what they're going to do, and they're like ambitious people have like a tendency to think about like the great things that the future holds, which is the fun part. It is legitimately the fun part, because like right now, like you don't want to have to think about like I have to edit this work for Biblion, and I don't want to. That's not as fun as that's not as fun as like thinking about like I'm running my own business and it's for profit and it's good and I have employees, I have a wife that loves me, a dog that cares for me whenever things like that. Those are the things that you like to think about, because that gives you hope. So the thing is, you need to devote some time to be able to think about your hopes and dreams and such. Because that helps you survive and get through the day-to-day. But you have to work in the day-to-day as well.
True. Yeah, man. Good point. Yeah, like having those hopes and dreams. It's really important. Like having the because that is what feeds the will to keep going, to push ourselves harder. It's the reason. It's the reason why we do this.
100%.
Why we do what we
100%.
do. It's like
So,
it's.
good.
I was just gonna say, like it's what fuels us. You know,
Yeah.
we just keep going and learning new skills. Pushing ourselves further and further because we have things that we want
Mhm.
or people that we want.
Yeah.
They are our guiding lights.
Yeah. There's a light at the whole cliche of like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You need something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like for example, today, right? Like, I have this podcast to do, and then I don't have, I don't have the ability to do laundry at my place because I don't have a laundry machine. So I'm gonna have to go do laundry, and then while I'm waiting on the laundry, I'm gonna have to like write content for my LinkedIn, do some stuff for Broklahomies. And my friend also needs some documents translated. I'm doing her a favor. So, I have all these small tasks that I'm going to do, but then, I know that this all orients towards some bigger goal in the future, and not just that one goal, like that's a motivator, but another motivator is like, you got to treat yourself too, right? Like throughout the day, like if you worked like 11 hours in a day, then you don't want to just go to sleep without doing anything fun. Like for me, like, I like to have a glass of scotch at the end of the day, or something fun, right? Something fun that I genuinely just enjoy with no stress and has like no strings attached. And that's good. That's fine. And for me, like today, that's going to be like after I do all of, the work that I have to do, is I'm going to go out with that person that I was telling you guys about and just go have a drink.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. And we're going to go get a drink, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. And it's something that I'm looking forward to at the end of the day. And it'll get me through the rest of this day and make me work a lot harder.
Exactly. Yeah. As you said, it's what you look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
You look forward to that keeps you moving forward, in a sense.
Like
Go ahead. It reminds me of a quote from a movie that I don't know the name of, but the quote is, "You need to create value in order to have the life that you want to have."
There's a lot in that. Let's see. So you need to create value to have.
In order to have the life that you want, and that's true. I mean, things are not just gonna fall from the sky. You need to go out and do stuff like
right. Let's break that down. There's a lot in
value.
There. Right. Let's break that down for a second. So you gotta create value to get the things that you want. Is that the quote? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, to have the life that you want.
Yeah.
So with all it implies, the house and the family, the relationships,
right,
etc.
And like the way the world works, the way the market works, right? Like the global economy, the way it works, like any sort of economy, is you trade value for value, and the only way to have value is to create value, right? So the thing is, you have to work in order to create value, and then once you've created value, then you have something that you can bargain. It's a bargain chip, right? So the thing is, you've created some sort of value now, and with that value, you can go ahead and trade it for something else that's valuable. So if you work to, let's say, like you make like a quantitative algorithm, and that algorithm is something valuable, right? And if you're like a computer science person, you make this algorithm.
Okay.
It's valuable. Now you've created value. and you sell this for some money, and now you have monetary value, right? And now with that monetary value, which is money, like some sort of currency, Bitcoin, whatever you want to do, then now you can use that to trade it for commodities that you want, once you trade the currency that you have for commodities, that's when you can get the lifestyle, at least in a strictly financial sense, the lifestyle that you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great example. Yeah. You mentioned the monetary value, although it's good to like understand that there's also an sort of intrinsic value that comes with this idea of creating value, which is like, so this in this example, the guy makes an algorithm, and he can always say that he did this, nobody can take it from him.
I see.
He just, his net worth, net worth.
I see.
In a sense.
So is that like just contributing to like your image of yourself? Like because you've made something really great, like something fantastic, now that kind of adds to his overall value as a person.
In a way, yeah. Like in a professional outlook, this is a guy that has attested that he can do this thing, like algorithms, It's attested. So he just made himself more attractive to employers.
You're tying it back in. You're tying it back. Okay, I see. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's that. It's the edge, man. He built the edge that
Bro, it's that clout that he needed.
Yeah, exactly. It's the clout.
It's the clout. Yeah, it's a track record, because the thing is, if you create value and you're consistently creating value, then that's a track record, and that shows that you're able to create that value. And so you're talking about, when you say intrinsic, you're talking about not like an active value, but a potential value. It's something that can come because you've created something in the past, and then that shows that the potential for creation or the creation of value is there.
Yep. Yeah, it's permanent, man.
It is permanent or semi-permanent. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you eventually die, so. But
true.
But it's very, very long term, and the thing is, the more you create value, the better you get at creating value. Generally, like it's a pretty upward trend for the most part.
Depending on the, like, if you switch areas or something, you have to reacquire new skills. Then maybe you'll experience some sort of setback, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of maybe your skill set is not as developed in this new area that you're embracing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the only way that skill set is going to grow is if you put it into practice. Mm-hmm. So
it's a literal win-win, because you're creating something in the moment, and then you're also creating the ability of you to make more, like to make better content for the future. It's a literal win-win. You're killing two birds with one stone.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
So
well put. Very well put.
So here's a question for you. I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but what's your I suppose process? What's your day in the life? What does Daniel Gomes do on a regular basis, and how do you manage that? Because you're a hyper productive person. Like you work hard. You do a lot of shit. You're one of the people that I respect, and that's the reason why like we're partners on this podcast, is because I respect you. Right?
Oh man, thanks. you dude, I try, man. I try.
I know you do. You not only do you try, you execute. You do, which is rare. It's really you are one of those people. You do that.
Yeah, man. Dude, like Okay, so let's start with the daily.
From morning
Daily
to when you go to sleep.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
So like
waking up, like 6:30 ish.
6:30.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Until usually 11 or 11, give or take.
That's crazy. So you get up at 6:30 every morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I guess it's not every morning.
But you have some sort of structure. Like because I get up around like 7:30. I thought that was early. Damn.
7:30, yeah. 7:30. It's still earlier than
a lot of people.
Think, yeah. It also gives me like that thing that that you're waking up before other people, most other people, or like enough of other people that it motivates you. Oh man, I'm getting it done earlier.
I see. So I'm ahead of the game, kind of thing.
Yeah. The early bird gets the worm sort of mentality.
I see. Yeah, that is very, very important. Like it makes you feel more productive. You feel proud of yourself. You're like, I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this. I'm getting up earlier, and I'm trying to produce more. Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You get up at 6:30, and then I know that one of the things that you like to do is you like to go to the local coffee shop and get some coffee, right?
Yep. I get some coffee. Like for me, it's good. Like to just go, have that time to like go
reflect,
walk. Yeah, sure, for sure, reflect as well. But just move, like take in fresh air, because for the rest of the day it's gonna be just like
hectic.
Just
work.
Yeah, you're just gonna be sitting in front of the computer the whole day, and it's gonna and it sucks. Like let's be real, it sucks being in in this position for so many hours in a row, and like you'd
rather be out doing something else, right?
Yeah, like or at least because the thing is, like you have all this stuff to do. That you might not even be able to finish it, even if you spend the whole day sitting in front of the computer, like I said. And it's it's you already
go ahead.
Yeah, it's like having that that routine. It helps you stay sharp, like physically and such.
Here's one thing is that, like, how I was talking earlier about today at the end of the day, I'm going to go out for a drink with my friend, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm looking forward to at the end of the day. But you actually bring up a really good point, because what you do is that that when you wake up in the morning, you have this really, really great time. Like it's like an hour or so, right? Probably. Like 30.
Yeah.
Like in the morning, like what you do. It's like 30 minutes, like an hour or something, right?
Yeah, it varies. It's like 30 minutes. 30 minutes at least, yeah. Yeah,
and so the thing is, one thing that's really beautiful about what you do with that is it helps you, because like sometimes you're up late at night and then you're like, I don't want to go to sleep, because that when you wake up, you're going to have to like wake up in the morning and shit. But for you, it's like you wake up in the morning and you have something to look forward to, because that 20-30 minutes is like a really nice point in your day, right? So
yeah, for sure. I mean, before I go to the coffee shop, I'm already sitting down on the computer and doing stuff,
Are you really?
So it's like when I wake up, like I actually usually the first thing that I'll do is go on my computer, look at email and stuff, and like organize my day, stuff like that.
Okay. So first is organization. So let's get back to like your actual daily routine. So first is kind of organization and like deciding like the overall like trend or focus of the day, right?
Absolutely.
You set the goals for the day.
Yeah, like workflow. It all comes down to like streamlining
the process,
your workflow.
Yeah, very good. You organize it.
Remove and I'm not by nature a very organized guy,
Okay.
But I think I'm so like I'm lazy, but the laziness like pushes me to be organized as to
I see.
Remove any unnecessary hassle or just setbacks, anything that can disrupt my workflow, like
anything that'll waste time,
activity. Yeah, exactly.
You want to remove the distractions as much as possible.
Yeah, I'd rather be able to sit down and like plan out what I'm gonna do, the way I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna tackle all these tasks, than have something like then going unprepared, and then something out of the blue comes up, and
So
fuck.
Right. And so you have this time at the beginning of your day to plan out more or less how the rest of the day is going to go, and you organize it so that you don't have to work twice as hard to produce the same amount. So how much time do you spend on that in the morning, you think?
Usually like it varies. I mean, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, it's basically because it's usually like the whole thing, the emails and the
right. So it depends on the day, but would it be like an average of like, what do you think on average, like it's like 30 minutes or something like that, or?
Yeah, something like that. You're just, I'm just trying to like plan to the maximum. Like,
right. And some days it takes more time than other days, right?
Yeah. You like, what do I need to do? What things are a higher priority than others? Will I still have time to like, watch some course or something?
Yeah. Okay, good.
All these micromanagement, I guess.
Right. Which is the planning out of the day that we were talking about. You're making priority queues, setting goals, making lists, things like that. And then also checking emails, because, whatever comes up in the morning, kind of, you have to like build that into your day as well. Because if you get the emails, you're going to have to do work oriented around the emails that you're getting too. So that makes perfect sense. So you spend time in the morning doing that, and then you go out to go get coffee, which is like yourself, like you kind of like relax, introspective, fun part of the day. And then you get coffee, which fucking, like if you're a hyper productive person and you don't drink coffee, then hats off to you, because I can't do that. That's like, I don't like saying that I can't do things, but I don't know if I can do shit without coffee, dude. 100%.
Yeah. My cousin is like, he's super productive. Like he just has tremendous discipline,
like does it without coffee?
In terms of, he doesn't drink any coffee.
Oh
and
my
it's just
god.
The dude wakes up sooner than I do. Like I'm baffled, like oh, he fucking does it like on a daily basis.
It's a mystery.
Going in and out, dude.
It's crazy. It's a motivated individual.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like yeah, man. He's just very goal oriented. He has a very clear idea of what he's got to do, and he does it. and it's just like that. And it's like, if there's a skill or like a sort of mentality that you should strive to adopt, is that it's just being able to do because that's what you got to do. Is not needing like.
And it's because he I'm sure he spends time to think about what has to be done and organizes it and then tackles those things. Now that you've identified the problems or the issues or like the things that you have to do, and then you go and spend the rest of your day problem solving those problems and things that you've set for yourself to do throughout the day, which is what you also do.
Yeah, I don't know if he does it to this.
Right, and everyone's different. Yeah. Everyone's different, and there's no question about that. Okay, so once you do those two things, right? So like you set your goals, you look at emails, you do all those things in the morning, right? You have that time, and then you have the coffee shop time. What comes after that? Because you get back home after going to the coffee shop and getting your coffee. What do you do after that?
Ruthlessness. That's what comes after that. It's just an onslaught of like things to do. It's just.
Are you a night shower or a morning shower?
Usually morning, but both sometimes, because sometimes I work out or I try to work out.
Okay, I see.
But yeah. That reminds me, dude. Cold shower.
Have you tried it?
I tried it, man, and
it sucks. It sucks. Absolute fucking cock, dude. It is terrible. But
it works.
It doesn't it work?
It fucking works. It.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't know if I'll do it like winter time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because if I get that cold in the morning, I'm probably gonna get like super sick because I can't get warm back again throughout the day afterwards. But it's right now. It's like
dude. So a little bit of context for everybody. A little bit of context. So I do something which I'll talk about like my day to day in like a second, but I take cold showers every morning because the first thing that I want to do in the morning whenever I wake up is something that I don't want to do. Because that motivates me, that allows me to do the things that I need to do that I don't want to do throughout the rest of the day, because I'm setting the pace for the entire day pretty much. So that's why I take cold showers every morning. And I was telling Dani about that, and then Dani's trying it out, and that's where we are.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't taken a warm shower in like months, dude. Like I just don't do that.
Props to you, bro. Props to you, because
I wouldn't be able to survive if I took warm showers. Let's put it that way.
But yeah, it's like a daily shot, a daily flu shot.
Dude, it is. It's just medicine. It's just medicine that you don't want to take, dude. It's terrible. It's horrendous. I hate it. I hate every minute of it. And the thing is, like, you think that like you get used to it. No, you just get used to the suffering. Like, it's not like you get used to the actual cold water. You know what I mean? Like, you just get used to the torturing yourself. You don't actually get used to the shower itself. The cold water is cold every single time I get in the fucking shower, dude. Like, it's still cold. It's still cold. Yep. Okay? Like, I hate it. I hate every moment of it, but I know I have to do it because that's just how my mentality it works. It works well with what I do. Okay, so getting back on track. So you go into Biblion and then you work on your projects and stuff throughout the day. Until what time? Like, from what time to what time do you think you usually work on Biblion stuff?
Ooh,
roughly, just roughly. It doesn't have to be like, it could be like on average like from 9 to 6 or something like that.
That's about like 9-ish, 9:30 to like 7:30, 8
Mm-hmm.
p.m.
Okay, 7:30.
So
Wow, that's a lot of work, dude.
it is a lot of work. Yeah, man. Right now we're going through a little overhauling of the website.
Okay.
So that has been a lot of work, restructuring certain layouts, making a few posts, like especially to like, kind of promote the. When I say posts, I mean the like an article, on the website to in order to like kind of promote and boost.
You're writing copy. You're writing copy.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and all the stuff that goes with it is just a lot, and we want to get that overhaul done as soon as possible. So
you've been devoting more time to it probably than normal, to Biblia than normal, then, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Like, because I told you earlier that I wanted to participate on these design awards and stuff, these contests.
Yeah.
And like I had to put that on the back burner.
Dude, actually, that's a good point that like we can kind of pull real quick. Is we can pull a point out of that what's happening to you right now is that you have busier periods of time throughout the year, and you have times that you have more time, because sometimes like there might be like a month or two, like a month period or like a 2-month period where you are tasked with doing more than you would the rest of the year or something like that. And not all days are created equal, where you just have to do more throughout sometimes. And that's kind of what you're doing right now. And so how do you cope with that? Because like you have a routine, right? But you kind of have to work outside of your routine for like a set amount of time throughout the year. So whenever those irregular, weeks or months come, how do you cope with that in your routine? Like, how do you build that into your routine? Do you change your routine at all, or do you just make it work?
Like, for example, Christmas, New Year's, that sort of time period, it's always freaking hectic. Like, it's crunch time.
For a lot of people, I think it is.
It's no different for us. Like, because there's so much we do specifically for that period of time. Like, I mean, for the past years, we usually had like book releases in that period of time because Christmas,
It makes sense.
We have like a compilation of best articles of the year, which it's the best time to do that is like the end of the year. So it's a no-brainer. So it's gonna affect like the usual routine of things, doing that extra thing, and and then
so you change. How do you? So you modify your routine according to what happens throughout the year, right?
You got it. But because I don't just do like Biblion. I do, I have the Fiverr gigs. I
do this.
I do this with much love, obviously. It's a labor of love.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, you just gotta manage the time. Right now, it's 10 p.m. I still haven't had dinner. But here we are, because
dude, that hangry animal that we were talking, that hangry lion that we were talking about, GSP, right?
In a way, yeah. Like it's not even the hunger part, but it's, like things just sometimes they will take up your time, and you maybe you can't, have the meal at 8 or like whatever time you
It's
usually
more
have
of a time issue.
your meal. Yeah. Like,
And I kind of
especially
caused you
crunch time.
that harm too because I got to the podcast a little bit late. My apologies.
No. Yeah. Don't worry about it, bro. It's just like in the big picture sort of way. Like, when there's this crunch time kind of thing, when there's more things to your routine than usual, you gotta be able to like
Make sacrifices.
make sacrifices, change how you do the things that are normal to your routine. So maybe like instead of taking like 30 minutes to go to the coffee shop and get your coffee and like walk around for a bit, you just take 15. You just walk fast
For sure,
to
for
the
sure.
coffee shop and
Sleep faster.
walk right back. Sleep faster, exactly. Yeah, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
Dude,
Create time.
Dude, yes. Sometimes, and the thing is, like, sometimes you still have to, like, have time to like reflect on your shit and like think about the big picture. But those are luxuries. That is a luxury, but that's kind of like a luxury that you built into your schedule because you also need it. And so the thing is, for a temporary amount of time, you're able to modify your schedule and like cut down on some of the luxuries in order to, like make ends meet. Because the thing is, like, you can't do that for like, forever, right? Because if you eventually burn out if you like cut all the luxuries out that you use to counteract the shit that you don't want to do. But for a short amount of time, like, for like a month or something, you might be able to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's burnout is a real thing, man.
Burnout's scary, dude. Burnout terrifies me.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing the translation of Martin Luther's work, not the thesis, but a later work that he wrote in response to the Pope.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, in commemoration of the 500 years of Protestant Reformation.
Fuck yeah.
And man, I translated that thing, and it's not big. It's not even big. It's like I don't know, like 15,000 words. 15,000 is not much. Like it gave like a 70-page book, 60-page book. But that was rough. Like, cause literally what I was doing every day was waking up, get breakfast like real quick, and like start typing, and all day long, even going into the night, and just stop for like grabbing something to eat, lunch.
Just barely skating by.
Yeah, because I was translating like.
And did that make you burn out?
2,000, 2,500 words a day.
Did it burn you out?
Like at the end of it, I felt like, fuck, I don't even want to hear about Luther.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I was just like, I don't want to have to translate anything for the next month or so. Like, I was just sick of it.
And that's the whole thing, is that you have to have. That's why you have that routine, and you can change it temporarily, but you have to make sure that you revert back to like another sustainable routine. Otherwise, you're gonna burn out, and everything goes to shit.
Yeah. It's a real thing. You see it a lot, like in the arts industry, like especially like video and
starving artists, hungry artists
doing the same shit for like hours on end every day. That's it's the reality, man. It's a harsh reality, but it's reality right now.
And because of that, like, you just like you have to work longer than what you usually do. Okay, so you usually work until about 8 o'clock, but sometimes that can vary depending on, like the time frame of the year. Just getting back to like the original thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, and it's very flexible because like I don't have like
Very much so.
a strict,
Yeah.
9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
But it's just the day.
job,
It's the yeah. Because the thing is, another thing is that you do is you work on Broklahomies while you're also in Biblion time too. So like it's really nice that you have that flexibility. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this real quick. At the end of the day, do you do something to reward yourself? Like some little pat on the back that you give yourself, like Danny, you did well. You did a good job today, dude. You do that ever?
Sometimes, like like, it's nothing big deal. It's just like like watch some videos or like like a series or an episode of a series or something.
Netflix, like you literally like, just self Netflix and chill.
Kind of, yeah. Like do like a quick game, like
yeah.
Like something quick and like that's instant gratification, almost kind of thing,
Because you need that at the end of the day. Like that's the sustainability factor that we were talking about. You need to reward yourself.
It helps. It definitely helps cope with the daily pressure.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you have a wind down, like something that you do to wind down, like after? Because the thing is, like you play the game, right, and like, or like you do whatever to like reward yourself. It might take like 30 minutes, even an hour. Hell, like sometimes, like if you have the luxury of 2 hours, and take it, But after that, do you have like a night routine where like you go to sleep or something? Like before you go to sleep, like you brush your teeth and stuff like that. Like what do you do?
Well, usually that is the routine, just just like watch like something, I don't know, like on YouTube or anything, and that kind of helps you like relax and get your mind off all the work that you're
doing. Yeah.
The day.
And let me ask you this: how much better is it watching a video or like playing a game after having like kicked ass all day? How much better is that video? Like it's guilt free, isn't it?
It's because you earned it. Like
you feel you earned it. Yeah? You earned it. Like you deserve this shit because you worked your ass off the entire day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no comparison. It's like you. At least me, like I feel bad, like if if I'm having fun and I didn't do anything to
does feel like you earned
deserve. Yeah, like like that feeling back in your mind that that you have things to do.
Yeah,
and then you just choose to do like that. That's even though I still engage in that behavior sometimes, like
we all do.
It doesn't feel the same, like because that apprehension is keeping you from like enjoying yourself, having real fun.
There's a slight hesitation because that you're watching this or like you're watching this video, but you didn't do anything that kind of offsets that, like like whatever helps you sleep at night kind of thing. Well, this is kind of similar because like if you feel like you produce enough to justify watching a video or doing something, then you can enjoy that a lot more. And I think that's one like inherent positive that you get out of working really hard is that at the end of the day, like you feel like you did something and you can enjoy the time that you enjoy, right? Like it's literal work hard, play hard. It's being pro work, pro fun,
Mm-hmm.
And
you need both,
you absolutely need both.
Because like working without an escape
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you know, the word escape kind of gets
thrown around a lot.
Yeah,
As a bad rap. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're escaping from reality or something like that.
Yeah, but it's just a way of like it's what you're looking forward to at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And you know, it's what gives meaning to all of this. Like in a short term kind of situation, but you know, it's what gives meaning to all the work that you've put out during the day, all the hassles, all the stuff.
And that's on a pretty small scale too. Like if you think about it, you also have like in our weekly schedules, we have weekends for a reason, because weekends, like you can use that time to like catch up on work and do more work. But like one thing that that Jews do, like people that follow Judaism or Judaism or whatever, is they take like a Sabbath, right? Shabbat, right? Yeah. And then and Dani, like our friend, does this as well, or he did it for a little while, where he just take a day off. He's not Jewish, but like he kind of likes the idea of like the Sabbath, taking that. And that's the day that you look forward to, where you just like you're resetting your mind. You almost force yourself to take a break, because that way that that's something that just that you can't take away from yourself. Like you're gonna have that. You're assured of having that Saturday off and being able to rest. And if you take it even bigger than that, vacations. A lot of people like to go on vacations and stuff. And if you know that in March you're going to be going to the Bahamas, for like a week or something like that, because you kicked ass for like a couple of months and you earned the money to be able to take a vacation. Well, then you're going to work harder, because that in March you're going to have something to do that you're going to enjoy. And that's like a bigger scale. Like you can scale that up. You can keep scaling that up to to like your retirement, like looking forward to that, or like looking forward to like this, that, and the other thing. You can keep scaling that up.
Absolutely.
And cool. So something that you look forward to, you do all that. Cool. You mind if I talk about like just roughly, because I think we got to like end the podcast soon, but like I wanted to mention more or less like what my routine was too.
Yeah.
So what I do is I wake up in the morning, and the first thing that I do is I get my portable speaker and I take it to the shower, right? And then I put on something something like music that motivates me. Because the thing is, one thing that I use a lot to motivate me is music. I really, because like music is a very compulsory. I don't want to call it a tool, because then it seems like I'm just like objectifying music. I'm not having like the whole like, but like it is a tool for me. It is a tool for me. And the thing
just
is
like you, a lot of people do it. Like I do it. Like who doesn't like to listen to like a really inspiring tune, like motivational, like kind of rocky theme song,
Yeah, exactly.
Like your whole outlook changes. Yeah, it's like
just get yourself pumped.
You feel like you're gonna seize the day, like
exactly. And I need that pump in the morning, right? I need that pump, because the thing is, one of the hardest things to do is start, right? And so this is like a ritual for me. It's designed for me to get excited enough to do the first thing that I don't want to do throughout the day, which is shower. Which is I don't want to. It sounds dirty as fuck, but like I don't want to go through that cold shower. I hate that cold shower, dude. But
bro, in your circumstances, like like it makes perfect sense not to look forward to it.
I hate it. And, and so I take that and I play the tune, and then I get into the shower, and then I put that cold water on. It hits me, and I just want to fucking die. And then, the shower ends up being like 3 or 4 minutes, because like I just soap up real quick and I suds up and I just like wash everything off, because I just want to get the fuck out. Do that. I brush my teeth. But the thing is, like, I get out of that shower, I feel fucking monkey strong, dude. I feel like I can take the rest of the day like a freaking ape. I don't want to throw shit like, you know, like a chimp, but, you know, like I get that. I get that feeling. I get that feeling of like, okay, I can do this. I am the fucking man. Right. And like, I get that. And I get out of my room. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do like organizational or, something that kind of sets the goal for the day that you're talking about, you know, something that makes you feel like that organizes what you do. And what I use is the reminders on iOS. So like it's just like a list of things that I have to do.
Yeah.
And I look at the things that are on the reminders list, and I kind of have it. I have it separated mostly to like long term and like short term. I use the short term one a lot more than the long term one because like the long term one, we were talking about this earlier, but like you don't want to spend as much time on it as like the short term stuff that you're working on. But I organize all of my goals and I put it in like a priority queue of things that I'm going to do in what order and what's the most important, so that, you know, like if there's one thing that I can't do throughout the day, then I can just like take that off the list, because there's some things that like I want to do that are like luxuries that I just won't be able to do. And I kind of, so like I sort it kind of in order of importance / chronologically, right? So just based on time and like what I'm going to do throughout the day. And then, you know, after I do that, then I get on all my tasks. And the thing is, one thing is, you know, because I don't have, like, I have this new job, but I only work on this job during the weekends. So I kind of got to like fix my schedule up a little bit, because, you know, I'm working throughout the weekends, like 8 hours on both Saturday and Sunday, making coffee, because, you know, I talked about the role already, right? Like what my role was, the social, social, the marketing / barista role. Well, so I do that, and then I get on all my tasks, and I have to organize myself I have to optimize myself, because I don't have a job forcing me to have to optimize myself, right? So the thing is, I have to do it for me, so that I don't die, right? I don't die from not having money. And then, so I get on my tasks. I do all of like what I have to do. And usually another thing is that like I don't eat until like way late, right? So like I get up in the morning, I have my coffee. That's another thing that I do in the mornings. I have coffee. I have coffee usually with like during my organizational time. And then I get on my tasks. I should add that in there. Coffee is key component.
Yeah.
And
you do get a lot of coffee.
I drink a lot of coffee. I drink like anywhere between like 4 cups to like 12 cups a day. But I do that, and then I, you know, like a lot of times, like I will be working until maybe 7 or 8. And then I'll pour myself a glass of scotch. I'll sit and I'll just watch some YouTube videos, because that's what I like. I like watching YouTube videos. Something guilt-free, something fun that I can enjoy at the end of the day. And then also like the alcohol, like you said, like a glass of scotch, like it helps me sleep as well. And so I'll do that, and then it's pretty simple. That's about it. It's a pretty simple routine. I sandwich my days with things that I like and I don't like, you know, and substances like, you know, coffee and alcohol are things that I really like, but in moderation, right? Because the thing is, I can't be drunk the entire day,
right?
And coffee, you know, like it's whenever it hits you initially, it's fun, but then like throughout the rest of the day, like it's just you're just energetic. You don't have as much the excitement, but like you have the energy from having drank the coffee and the caffeine, but you don't have that high that you have for like the first 10 minutes that you drink it. You just have energy, but you don't, it's not like you enjoy it as much.
Right.
And it's kind of my routine. Like it's pretty simple. It's also really flexible, because it's just, I just have to have that one thing and the last thing at the end of the day. But in the case of today, like I subbed my glass of scotch out for my glass of scotch and watching a video out for going and hanging out, which is something that you can do, right? Because the thing is, as long as you look forward, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just as long as you have it at the end of the day.
Right. Don't start the other way around with the scotch in the morning and the coffee.
Yeah. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. But but yeah, it's like you just have to have things that you have to look forward to. And again, that scotch, that Chivas Regal that I have, because the thing is, I like to treat myself. I'm kind of pampered in a way. I have Chivas Regal. It's a nice scotch. And I sit down with that, and it's nice having that. It's a really cathartic, nice feeling, and I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's of good quality, and I enjoy it a lot more because I'm having it at the end of the day and after I've already worked my ass off.
Yep.
Cool. Well,
that's it.
Yeah, and cool. So, anything that you want to say about the podcast, dude? Like anything new happening?
Bro, I'm starving. It's 10:30.
Fair enough.
I still have to go cook.
Okay, man. But shit, guys. Tune into our podcast. We should be releasing podcasts about twice a month, so about bi-weekly. And yeah, you'll see our post on Instagram at Broklahomies. Broklahomies. Broklahomies at Broklahomies. Find us on there. We're pretty active on there. Feel free to ask questions. Follow us. Comment on our stuff. Have fun because we're a community. There's a lot of people within the Broklahomies community that are pretty active. So join us. Have fun. Talk to you guys sometime soon. Danny, it was a pleasure.
Likewise, bro. Peace.
Peace.